So one of the biggest questions that I've had ever since the beginning of the year is, can I make an income from trading? That's been one of the biggest questions I've had since January, and it's been pretty much the only goal that I have set. And so far, we are about 5 months until the end of the year. And I am trying to do that within 5 months. I've been day trading for about 3 to 4 years now, but I am trying to maximize and specifically target the certain set of actions that is going to have the best results, getting me closer to that goal. That's the whole point of this series. It's just me documenting my journey, what I'm doing along the way. So let's go ahead and jump into the weekly recap. Today we only took one trade, and it was the StatOrbs trade. Let's go ahead and look at it and dissect what happened. So for those who don't know, for the last, I want to say month, I've been kind of testing the play that I call StatOrbs. Now, I created this play from looking for odds over the last 5 years when it comes specifically to orb conditions. Now, this was looking at stuff like orb range, their average range, looking at the percentiles of these ranges, depending on where we close in the orb range, giving directional bias, and also the most likely take profit to be hit and the best stop loss in this scenario. And then I created a strategy using all of the statistical data that I had. And for the last 30 days, I have just been trying it out and testing it in live markets, trying to build up a log of these type of plays to figure out if it has positive or negative expected value. Now, the main chart I want you guys to focus on is this 1 minute chart over here to the left hand corner, because this is my indicator that I had coded up to just kind of give me the idea of where the orb range is. So I have a few numbers, but this is the most important number. Now, I know you can't really see it because it's small, but it is 66. What this means is the orb range is 66 points. That lands us in the 50th percentile of orb ranges. Now, another thing I want to identify is the fact that we are closing below the midpoint. So this is giving me directional bias in what direction to go, being that we have a 72% chance of breaking lower if at 9:44 we close below the midpoint. Now, I had talked about all of these statistics in a previous video called the statistics of the orb. You can check that out. It'll give you a little bit more further details. However, for this setup, I was looking for an entry at retest of two things. One, VWAP, which is right here, this blue line right here, and second, point of control. So both of these confluences were in the exact same spot, which is a really good entry for the sole fact that it allows me to determine where I am wrong a lot quicker. You see, if we break past this high volume node and we start trending towards upside and we break this highs, we could possibly run a lot more. Look at the volume profile, see how thin it is here. This is showing that there is not that much interest in these levels above compared to this level down here at the current moment. So I got filled in here. Now, what was going through my mind specifically was I was looking at this high right here. If this high had gotten broken, not only would it have broken this high volume node, but it also have broken a little bit of structure here, and I would have been out immediately. We get the move in our direction as the trade plays out. I am watching the delta here. I am really looking for strong delta, meaning that we have more aggressive sellers or sellers in this candle than buyers. So as this play, we got another rejection of VWAP and point of control. Something I should note out too, before take profit gets hit, we're getting a lot of consolidation here, which is expected. It's VWAP and point of control. But so long as I don't see a break above this high, I am still holding it. Now, let me break away from the screen really quickly, because one of the biggest challenges in this trade right here was taking my hands physically off the keyboard. This keybind right here allows me to easily close my trade. Just like that, I'm out. And when I tell you, my fingers was literally hovering, and I mean hovering, over these keys when we was in that consolidation. I had to physically tell myself to lift my hand away from the keyboard, right, and let my stops do its job. Price pushes, we get a break of orb here finally, and then once we get that break and close, which we did here, there's a 92% chance that we go ahead and hit a 5-point extension. And that was my only trade for today. So let's see what tomorrow has in store. All right, so today is Friday. We just ended the day. Just kind of got off from work and I am extremely tired. That's one of the things that I've noticed in this journey so far, that I am going to be tired after getting off work, but I still got to do what's required, right? So I'm recording this video because we're going to go over our recap. I'm going to try and keep it as quick as possible. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so we positioned ourselves pretty late today. Positioned ourselves at 9:44, which is later than what I usually kind of position myself. Now, this day, I was a dummy. I didn't record my chart that tracks the orb stats, so you can't really see it. But I was looking to position myself here. I believe we had like a 70 or 80 point range. This just makes it's still in the 50 percentile, or a little bit above the 50 percentile. The 65 percentile is where it falls in now, but still high probs of probability of us getting a breakout. So as far as entry, was looking for an entry here for a few reasons. The main reason was that it was kind of the low or prior low to this level, and then also it would have been a nice little wick fill right here as well too. So both of these things were pretty good reasons for me to want to enter. And then I had a clear defined take profit, which was stops above these highs here. This happened rather quickly as price kind of shot downwards and made that move. And then we was in the trade for like 20 seconds before it hits our take profit. As far as results on the week, I only took 2 trades. Was Thursday and Friday, both the stat orbs. Really good 2 days. Both of those were wins, which I am grateful for. And now we move on to next week. Stat orb so far, the stats for it is looking pretty good. We're looking at about a 61 win percent. And then of course, this is going to be a little bit higher because we increased our leverage on the new trades that we took this week to 2 micro contracts. And we completely stopped taking retest setups. We put those off because, man, really honestly, those have been not the best and they have been lacking edge. And I haven't been able to, ever since that period I had in March, I haven't been able to recreate any edge with them throughout the last few quarters. So we're getting rid of them. We put it on the sidelines for now. We're spending our attention. We're focusing on the stat orbs play. We're making sure that that is profitable. It gives us a positive expected value, which trade expectancy is about $16, which is positive for now. But we have such a small data sample that I wouldn't really too much heavily rely on it. Stat orbs, if it does prove to be pretty profitable, and it does prove to have a positive expected value, I'll just up the leverage on that and let the play run out. I don't want to talk too much though. I'll save everything for tomorrow.